Alright guys, we are back again, back at Motorcycle Mall. We are heading yet again back to the Aprilia section here at Motorcycle Mall, where they have a beautiful lineup of Aprilia motorcycles. So we've already covered the Aprilia RS660. We've already covered the Aprilia RS-V4, the non-factory and the factory. So now today we're going to be moving over to the more naked bikes, which is the Aprilia Tuono 660. This here is the 1100, but we will be moving on to the Tuono 660 factory, which Mike has for us. So let's go outside and see what he's got for us, guys. Alright guys, 2023 Tuono 660 factory. You guys already know we got our boy Mike in the building. He is going to be going over the features and highlights of the beautiful 2023 Aprilia RS660. Mike, what's going on, man?
How's it going?
Good. Nice beautiful fall day we got here.
Alright, brisk.
A little brisk.
Very nice.
Yes sir. So what we got today, man?
So, we got the 660 Tuono factory model. This is a slight upgrade from the model from the 660s, generally speaking. The factory model is going to have fully adjustable suspension, including the full piggyback shock in the back and updated forks in the front. On this model here, this is actually set up with a 16-tooth front sprocket.
Nice.
So visually you can't see it, it is covered up, but it gives you better riding as far as torque. You got a nice thing on this as well, is this is actually a slightly lighter bike. It's about 4 pounds difference in weight, and it comes with the stock lithium-ion battery.
That's nice. That's a nice savings right there too. Those batteries are expensive.
Yeah. So that's factory on this as well. Really cool setup on this. It's got the updated factory colors.
Yes.
A little dab of purple in there, which is really cool.
Beautiful. Nice DRLs in the front.
Yep.
Also has incorporated winglets on the side, just like its older brother, the RS-V4.
Yeah, and they're really nice. They got the two-tone feature on that as well, so it stands out.
I'm really digging the front of this. This is really nice. This colorway's beautiful, man.
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, for sure. So the direct competitors to this particular bike will be what? The FZ07s, FZ09?
Your MT models are gonna be the popular ones. Iconically, this is kind of a fairing naked bike.
Right.
So it's going to compete with a lot of the naked bikes in the market, but it has kind of a sport bike kind of feel and look to it. Traditional bars, traditional stance. You can still tuck behind it. You got kind of a mini pal.
Right.
You got all the menu system from the other bikes as well. You got the cropped exhaust, which again, a lot of your naked bikes will have that as well. The updated suspension on this is going to be the big factor on these. Big Brembo brakes. This one here, also this one has the second seat set up, but this does come with the solo seat and the racing cowl on there.
Racing cowl is sexy on the Aprilia.
This model, so
yeah.
Really cool.
Nice.
Like it. It's really nice.
All right, cool, man. So yeah, we'll get this on the road and we'll see how this feels. Never really rode a lot of naked bikes, so this should feel pretty different for me.
Yeah, you'll like it. It's kind of a standard riding position, but still sporty at the same time.
All right, thanks, man. Let's get it going. All right, the Aprilia Tuono 660 factory. Pretty cool looking bike, man. I'm not gonna lie, this colorway looks really freaking good. You see the titanium exhaust already starting to change color a little bit, and I think that the color of the exhaust also matches like the fairings a little bit with this purple inside. I absolutely love this colorway. This looks absolutely excellent. I love the black Brembo brake calipers. That looks dope. The bike just looks excellent, man. I wonder if they make the Tuono V4 1100 in this colorway. So let's jump on this bad boy and see how this feels. I'm actually jumping onto this because I've done reviews for Motorcycle Mall. I'm actually a little bit at home on this bike because I've done the RS660 and the RS-V4. And immediately when you get on this bike, it's not as tall as you would think for naked bikes, because naked bikes are usually, they usually sit a little bit taller. than sport bikes, but this one feels like it's easy for me to grab my feet on, and most bikes are. I'm 6 feet tall, so I never really have an issue flat footing any bike, but this was really good. And I also noticed too, as soon as I got on this thing feels really freaking light, really light. So let's get a cold start going, shall we? Nice. Got that parallel twin cylinder motor, same exact motor as the RS660. It's just that this one is geared differently, as Mike said. It's actually geared down one in the front, so it might be a little bit snappier. Riding the Tuono RS660. So as I said before, I haven't ridden a whole bunch of naked bikes. Brakes feel a little squishy, just a little squishier than I'd like it to be. But instantly sitting on this bike, from the first time I'm sitting on it, it feels excellent, man. This bike feels really comfortable. See how this quick shifter works? Okay. I mean, just like, you know, how any other quick shifter would be in its restricted form, it feels very restricted. Still gets the job done though. Still relatively smooth. Let's see how the auto blip feels. Oh yeah, that auto blip feels good. I just cannot get over the sound of this bike, man. Inline 4-cylinder sounds so freaking boring, other than the cross-plane R1. But I had this in individual mode, and I think it's kind of similar to commute mode. Commute mode similar to the RS660 that I reviewed. It's definitely like a detuned map for the bike. A lot of things are delayed. It doesn't give you all the power that the bike actually has. So it kind of degrades the power for you for a little bit, especially if you're, you know, around town like how I am now. That's definitely going to be a beneficial mode for you for sure. But I just want to hear you guys, let you guys listen to how it sounds in commute mode versus dynamic mode. I'll do that in a second. That how Aprilia automatically changes the backlit screen for you once the sun is going down. It's already you know, almost it's past 6 o'clock and the sun is going down, and it instantly recognizes it, and now the screen backlit is black, and everything looks beautiful on here, man. Everything looks beautiful on here. This is not the same screen from the RSV4. This is the screen from the previous generation RSV4. But again, it still looks very nice. It still gives you all the information that you would really need to know, you know, what's happening and what's going on with the bike, for sure. And I could definitely tell that the bike is geared differently, because from the RS660, it didn't really hit as hard as this does. And these naked bikes are, you know, they're focused more on torque more than horsepower. Yeah, that feels good. That sounds really good. Controls are nice and easy to use. Ooh, we hit that pothole, crazy. Controls are nice and easy to use. So let's go ahead. So this is how it sounds in commute mode. Now if we go to dynamic, yeah, the sound is instantly changed. It definitely sounds way more aggressive. This bike is really comfortable. I'm actually a little bit shocked at how comfortable this is. I actually rode the BMW XR 1000, and that was the in-package version too. That bike has more horsepower than this for sure, but it's also considered to be a naked. But I feel just as comfortable on this bike as I did on that. I'm digging this. I'm not gonna lie. I'm digging this a little bit more than I thought I would. I'm actually digging this a little bit more than the RS660, believe it or not. Because these bikes, you can actually take these bikes on track too, guys. There's a bunch of naked bikes that always hit the track, and these guys are leaning these bikes almost just as hard as sport bikes. So don't be afraid to take your naked to the track, man. I know you may not have as much horsepower as the other sport bikes that are on track, but this thing still has a lot of power for you. That sound, come on, man. That sound is so addicting. One thing I am noticing though, I'm not too sure if it's just this particular bike or if it's just all the Tuono 660s. The brakes feel a little squishy, in my opinion. Just a little bit. You do have rubber hoses on here. My ZX-10 has rubber hoses too, so I'm not, you know, I know how that feels. But this feels a little bit more squishy than I think that it should be. It may be a little bit of air in the system, for all that I know. But This colorway is absolutely excellent. This Aprilia Racing looks absolutely beautiful here. I would probably get this bike in this color if I decided to get this bike. It's not a whole bunch of competitors for this bike. See how this thing leans real quick. Nice, feels good. Definitely takes a little bit more effort to lean this than the RS 660, but it still leans pretty well. Well, the direct competitors for this bike would probably be the Yamaha MT-09. I believe that is a triple cylinder, just under 900 cc. This is a twin cylinder at 660 cc's. So the MT-09 definitely has a little bit more power, but I think this falls in the same class as that bike. This in the R7. So let's see how this bike feels. Get it up to speed a little bit. See how it feels on the highway. Love that sound. And just like with any other upright bike, of course, you're gonna feel some wind. You probably have some aftermarket parts that you can get for a taller windscreen, so that you're not facing or hitting as much wind as what I am right now. But I'm still very, very comfortable on this bike. Sounds excellent. Sounds absolutely excellent. And it's really comfortable. That's the most important thing that you would want to look for on a touring naked bike like this, is that you want yourself to be very, very comfortable. Not sure if it has heated grips. It definitely has. Oh, it took those bumps pretty well too. It definitely has cruise control, so that's a plus. Not sure if it has the heated groups option here. I'll definitely inquire with Mike if it does or not. Turn my lights on here. The front of this bike looks beautiful. I love the DRLs on the front of this bike. I like how the headlights look. That looks absolutely excellent. See how it gets up to speed really quickly. I don't want to slow down too much because I know I'm holding up some cars here. So let's gear down real quick. Do from 60 or second gear roll. Okay, not bad at all, man. I mean, again, you're not going to be having a whole bunch of blistering power with a 660 cc bike, but it will get the job done, no doubt about it. This bike feels really, really nimble. I think the front end feels a little bit lighter than I'm used to because there's so much fairing missing. But other than that, though, man, this bike feels really, really good. I'm pleasantly surprised at how good this actually feels. And nakeds are definitely a segment of bike that I'll probably be, interested in as I slow down with the sport bikes and things like that. Because you can still get your thrill with some of the higher end naked bikes, but you still get the comfortability of them as well too. So it's kind of like, you're getting the best of both worlds. And there's a lot of like hybrid naked bikes out there. You got your MV Agusta 800 Rushes. You have your Ducati Street Fighters. Those are really, really gorgeous looking, those Ducatis, and they sound ridiculous. Those bikes are also geared differently as well too, for the more touring feel. But again, those bikes, they can get up to 150, 160, 170. But after that, aerodynamics is going to play a factor because you're like sticking up so far. But I mean, other than that, you're not buying that bike to go, crazy on the street, because that's not really what it's designed for. Can do it for you, but it's not really its job. But something like this, man, if I want to just, cruise around town and be comfortable, it's got a nice, really big cushioned passenger seat, so you can take your significant other on there and roll around with you if you'd like to. I think on this type of bike, you feel okay with the passenger on it, because you're sitting straight up as well too. With sport bikes, if you got a rider that doesn't really know how to ride on the back, yeah, it's kind of like, pulling dead weight a little bit. But with this, since I'm a little bit more upright, I have a little bit more control with the passenger on it, so it might feel a little bit better to some people. But oh yeah, this thing feeling good, man. Brakes still work really well. A little squishy, but it still is very responsive. Vibe. Sounds good. Sounds good. Motor Max thumb of approval. Sounds really good. This is a really, really sharp looking bike in my opinion. And I mean, again, I know if you go to bike meets and things like that, people are probably not going to really know what it is unless you know a lot about bikes. And this is the higher version. This is the factory model, so it comes with the gearing. It's a little bit lighter. Comes with this colorway. Comes with the rear shock, the rear suspension. That's upgraded rear suspension. So it comes with some goodies that, you know, a person would really actually benefit from and actually appreciate. Off bike look at it. It's a really nice looking bike, man. I really dig the way Aprilia put this bike together. The all black looks really good with the standing colors out here, with the bright colors. It looks really good. This thing is comfortable for sure. We are in the Northeast, we are in New Jersey, and I feel like I could ride this from here to Boston without taking a break at all. That's how upright I am, that's how comfortable I feel. I feel zero pressure on my back. And you know, riding a sport bike for more than 100 miles, probably gonna want to get off of it and stretch a little bit, but with this, I can probably go easy 300, 350 miles without really feeling any type of fatigue. I mean, as I usually state in my videos, you can't just list all the positive things about the bike. So for this particular bike, I guess I have two things that I wish were a little bit better. The first thing is that, similar to the RS660, it is a parallel twin motor. So for some reason, these bikes get very hot. Again, I was just in motion. It's probably about, this temperature isn't accurate. It's definitely cooler than 64 degrees. It's probably closer to like 60, 59 degrees. And I can feel this temperature in between my legs. But as soon as I come to a stop, that temperature starts rising really fast. So the temperature and probably just the brakes feel. Again, I don't know if this needs to have its brake lines flush. Maybe some air in the system possibly. Or that's just how it just comes from stock. But the brakes feel just a little bit mushy, a little bit too mushy for my liking. But other than those two things, man, this is a great bike to have and to own. As I said before, I will probably be dabbing into the hyper naked bikes, you know, later in my old adult life. I'll be dabbling into that as well too, because you still get you still get some thrill with the bike, and you also still get the comfortability of it as well too, and that's what you really would want when going into this segment of motorcycles. And I love these incorporated wings as well too. That looks dope, man. This bike is dope for sure. My review on the Aprilia 660 Tuono. Definitely an awesome naked bike to own. Definitely look into this if you are considering yourself to be in that segment. It's another naked bike right there. That's the S1000 Single R. Another fast naked bike. Pulling up into the garage here. So yeah, guys, this is definitely something that you guys should look at if you're looking into this genre of motorcycle. Not only does it feel really comfortable, but it's really freaking easy on the eyes. And I think anybody would be able to appreciate something like this. So yeah, guys, this is my review, so I will see you guys in the next episode. We're going to wrap up the Aprilia series by doing the Aprilia Touareg next. Alright, so I will see you guys in the next episode, people. Ride safe. Peace out.